All right, all right, all right. How is everybody today? How is my amigos? Let's get started. Right. Okay, let's get out of this. Let's go into the fear and greed to start off with. So, welcome everybody to the channel. My name is Sham. I'll give you no BS on this channel. I'll tell you how it is right in your face. I don't really care. That's how I am. So I hope you appreciate this kind of stuff where we're not trying to entertain people. We're not trying to make fun or nothing like this. Just trying to be hardcore facts, nothing more. Right? So let's do this. So I see 2-3 people already on the stream. Awesome, awesome, awesome. If you're new to the channel, guys, like, share, subscribe, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure to press all on notifications so you get notified of all these live streams that we do every single day, right? And here we're gonna talk about everything. Says good morning, Jeffrey. Awesome, my brother. Good morning to you. It's good afternoon here, but it's good morning to you. No problem, my brother. So let's talk about real facts on the market today. The question is at hand: can we survive the night? Can we survive tonight? Can we survive tomorrow? That's the question right now. Can we survive this week? Okay, and there's a big reason why I said this. So yesterday we had 34, as you can see on the fear and greed, and then of course it's kind of moderate. I would say neutral. 43. It's fine. It's moving back up. Market sentiment is up. We can see that at this particular time was the exact time when the whales and everybody decided to snipe into the market, right? Get in, because those are the perfect zone. Exactly as we mentioned, we said, look, when you see red, when you see blood, you buy. When you see blood on the streets, you buy, right? Because that's exactly the perfect time to buy any coin you want. Of course, somebody was talking about power today earlier on, that power didn't really on Coinbase there was some situation or whatever. I said, guys, just go on another exchange, buy the power. Who cares? You know what I mean? You don't have to stick to one exchange. This is one of the reasons why you should open many exchanges. They're free to open as many as you want. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's go into the market and see how all the market is doing right now. Everything seems green. Of course, I'm seeing USDT green. I don't like. I'm seeing BUSD green. I don't like. Any USD pair green, I don't like. It's not a good news, right? Yeah, we want to see them grayed out, or we want to see them completely red. That's what we want to see. And I think we might get there, but let's see. Let's go through the charts. By the way, I haven't seen the charts before this. I'm not joking. I have not seen the charts myself. So there's no pre-script or anything like this. This is pure freestyle. Pure freestyle. Let's do this. On the bubbles, we see Gala pumping another 50% in a single day. Guys, awesome, awesome, awesome. Those of you guys on the Gala, so I am definitely going to check my Gala bags now, because I do have some left over from when I sold my initial investment, when I doubled down and took all my profits and this and that. So that bag is gone, but I do have another bag, and I am going to check that bag. I didn't top up, complete transparency, but I will check that bag right now, because I think it's getting to the point where it might start to drop. So because the attention is going to move, and that's where I want to be careful. I want to say, okay, I want to make some profits, take my money, get the hell out, and see where it goes. I see a whole bunch of great coins pumping. Awesome, awesome. I see KDA on a discount. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So let's move into the other stuff and see what's going on. So how many coins actually came out of exchanges today? Not bad, not bad. I mean, I'm looking at this on a one-day change. I'm seeing 414 BTC came in compared to a few other days. But if we start looking at higher time frames, that's where the real news comes out. 7 day, we've had 10,000 BTC leave the exchanges. We've had 2 million Ethereum leave the exchanges. Let's look at 30 days. Boom, 42,000 BTC left the exchanges. So when we're looking at this, we can see on a higher time frame, more and more BTC, more and more Ethereum is leaving, so Ethereum not as much. I mean, close to 3 mil. So the 7 days was good. So you can see that we've had 500k more. But if you just look at BTC, how dramatic it is, like 414, 7 days, 10,000, and 30 days, 42,000. That's 4x the amount of what we had in 7 days. Brilliant, brilliant. Just look at those kind of things. Like, look at the higher time frame. You're going to get more information. You'll understand a lot more. You'll see the market sentiment. You'll understand that people are excited. People are over bullish. People are really, really bullish. Okay. Of course, on the daily, we can see some BTC came back to the exchanges. So you can see when we zoom into this area, some BTC came in. minuscule, minuscule compared to 40,000 over 30 days. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Those are just probably some retail or somebody there just thinking, oh, market might crash, bring it back up to sell it. And they're probably selling it for a loss. And guess who's buying it? All the bulls. All the bulls are buying the dips. That's what's happening. Price spikes up. Ethereum still leaving the exchanges. Awesome to see. Awesome to see. Let's have a look at the leverage ratio, because that's going to be very, very important for us to see. Has the leverage dropped? Has the bulls and bears of leverage, sad to say, but have they been wiped out? Yeah, some of them, not as much, some of them. So we would want to see, definitely want to see this low, guys. We don't want to see high leverage. We don't want to see high leverage. We don't want to see too much greed in the market, because everybody can see it. This is blockchain, for God's sake. This is not your stock market. I can secretly buy some stock and just sit on it. No, this is the blockchain. We can track you. We can see what I can see, everyone else can see. So please do understand, this is blockchain. You don't mess around with the blockchain. So yeah, other than that, market looking pretty healthy. We've come back to the 2.61 trillion. We did dip down all the way down to 2.39 a few days ago, or yesterday, I believe it was, last night. And in the 24 hours, we've come back again. Of course, we're not nowhere near the all-time highs, because we were close to the $3 trillion. But we're not there. Also, let me double check the chats, guys. Smash those like buttons. Let YouTube know that we're doing awesome stuff here, and so they can actually stop bugging us out. Stop bugging us out whenever we're trying to do a live stream, especially the chats, because it's getting difficult to actually observe the chats and see what's going on. So let me see how we're doing on the chats. Right, okay, awesome. Nothing. All right. If you have any coins you want me to talk about, drop it in the comments, guys. Drop it in the chat. We'll talk about it. Not an issue. So market doing its thing, Cardano doing its thing, Solana doing its thing, everybody doing its thing. Of course, when we're looking at the higher time frames, that's when we see how much more we have to go. So we can see on a weekly, we're still down 10% on BTC. Absolutely fine. So we've got to recover 10%. So it's okay. It's not a bad dip. We had a total dip of about 20%. Because I did do a calculation yesterday, it was about 20%. That's a healthy correction. Nothing wrong with that. Ethereum 7%, absolutely fine. We're looking at these weekly figures, not the daily. We don't care if it pumps 100%. We want to look at these, right? So we're looking at these discounts. That's what we're looking at. I mean, Polkadot 10% discount. That's what I'm seeing, right? Let's have a look at Shiba 10% discount. Awesome, awesome, awesome. There is a few coins I'm trying to look for, because I want to pick up some discounts, because last minute thing, if the market's going to start flipping back up, I want to look at these discounts. For me, it's very important. So I am looking at all of this, trying to see where the biggest discounts are. Phantom, nice, lovely little correction, beautiful discount here. So I'm looking at that. I'm looking at those top coins where I know I'm going to make a nice little bit of a change. At least if this is back to zero, then I know I've made 15%. Do you know what I mean? That 18%, I'm going to make that. Do you know what I mean? So that's the target. I'm not really saying, oh, I want to go to the moon. I mean, Cardano 18%. That's an 18% guaranteed when the market starts moving back up. So that's the kind of discounts I am looking for. And also, while I'm doing this, I'm actually observing to see which of the coins have great potential, because they are now in the top 100. And anything in the top 100 is where people are going to see the coins, right? It's like you go to the top 100 page. Well, that's the page to be on, because these are great projects. I mean, Velas, that's surprising. I actually didn't believe this was going to make it, but this one actually came up, and this week it's up 72%. Not bad, not bad, because I think Velas just screams like a scam. Of course, Coinbase is launching VGX, Voyager token. I am invested. I told you they are an exchange. On the 7 days, they're up. You can see this, they're up. But if you look at the 90 days, they are actually down, because they've had a previous all-time high. And that may be an opportunity. The all-time high was $10. So if they're pumping now with the Coinbase pump, there may be a chance to go close to this and just calculate this as a little discount. Of course, it depends how you play the game. So all up to you. Let's have a look and see what else we can see. What else can we see? Okay. Well, nothing much. Nothing much. I'm just looking at some of these, just trying to, because I haven't looked at the charts, guys. No joke, I have not looked at the charts. This is the first time I'm looking at it, and usually this is pretty much what I do. I just scalp top 100, 200 pages to see what's going on. I see this one, Veracity, there's a lot of hype around it. They are pumping. MX token is pumping now because they are launching a lot more tokens. So they've moved to page 2, currently 200. That's what happens. Exchange tokens don't disappoint you. Don't disappoint you. I mean, here's Gala. Bloody hell, 235% in 7 days. Can't go wrong with that. You can't go wrong with that. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, awesome. But I'm looking for the discounts. I'm not looking for what's pumped. I don't care. If it's pumped, it's pumped. I don't care. You know, for me, it's all about picking up the discounts, making the money there. Because what's pumped is pumped. There's nothing I could do about that. I'm not going to jump on the hype. I don't care if it goes to another 1000%. It doesn't make any difference to me. I want to buy the dip. Yeah, I want to buy the dip. Okay, I think I've had enough. Yeah. Interesting. Right. Looks okay. I'm not going to bother too much with that. Let's have a look and see how many people got wrecked. Today, let's see. Refresh. Not much. 37,000 traders were wrecked. 94 million in the last 24 hours. Absolutely fine. That's healthy. That's healthy. We don't want it to be too much, because that can wreck everything for us. Ooh, did you see this, guys? Are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? 11.85%. This is the signal we've been looking for, because so far we've only seen Grayscale around the 13, 15, 17 mark. That was the discount. It was a huge discount. That meant that even Grayscale was a little bit bearish. But we know when Grayscale premium rate starts to go into the positive or towards the positive, especially when it goes to green, you know they are super bullish. They know something. This is a great indicator. But guys, we're about to have another leg up. We're about to have another freaking leg up. So, wow. That's just a wow. Big wow from me. Let's have a look at the chat, see what's going on. I see Custard Boot here. Awesome, my brother. If you can, look at Katana. Okay. Valdon Daniel. Hey, bro. Awesome, my brother. Nice to see you. Yeah, I'll have a look at Katana. What is Katana? It sounds like a Japanese sword to me, a samurai sword. Let's have a look at Katana, if that's what it was. Katana, KTN. All right, let's have a look at Katana. Yeah, let's look at the total, see what happens. Yeah, it's hit the floor, rock bottom floor, coming back to recovery. Let's have a look at more data for this. Seems solid. Okay, so far the structure seems great. Let's have a look and see what's going on. Katana is the world's first desktop-based terminal for trading blockchain assets, built to cover all aspects of the professional trader's workflow. No, it's not. Katana is not the world's first desktop-based terminal. Sorry to say that. Sorry to burst your bubble. That's not true. Ascendex also has a version. There's another one created by what was it? Kraken. They have their own terminal as well, where you can go and do this kind of stuff. So yeah, no, that's just pure bullshit. Pure bullshit. Comes as CFI, where it's been running privately, providing visible top. Yeah, maybe that's where the first. Right, but when it comes to exchanges and other centralized exchanges, there's plenty of them out. So that statement there, the first desktop base, to me that's just pure bullshit. Sorry to say that, but again, look, when you're making money, who cares, right? Who cares? When you're making money on it, it doesn't really make much of a difference. How many people are watching it? We've got 9,000 people watching this particular coin, built on the Ethereum. Happy days. It's moving money. You know, we've got a lovely little market cap, very small here. Volume is very tiny though, $444,000, very small. So very relatively quite unknown, I would say. Also, I want to double check one thing for this. I want to see when the code was submitted. I think this was going to be really, really cool to see. When was the code submitted? Contract. There should be a date stamp there. And that's what I'm looking for. Seed, private sale, strategic, liquidity, foundation, team, reserve advisors. Okay, so this is their tokenomics. Fine. Nope. Okay. So they made some nice smart contracts. It's okay. I like that. Okay. Okay, they've even put a context in there. That's good. Great, great, great. I mean, I like the info, by the way. So they've done it the proper way. I like this. Like everything they've put in there is very cool. I do like that. That's a lot of information, especially for developers and everybody to go and verify. I do like this. It is some good information out there. Great information. Okay. So this wallet only has one. Meet Katana. Yeah, Samurai. Ultimate all-in-one trading platform. Yeah, I've seen this before. Nothing new. Nothing new. Just a few fancy colors and everything. Yeah, yeah. Everything is wrapped. Seriously? Okay. Not bad. I mean, of course, when you do a wrapped method, you can do pretty much anything. But yeah, great. No worries. Katana. I have heard about them, by the way. There's a funny thing. I have heard about them. So yeah, I was just trying to track it down, trying to see when this thing actually launched. Some of that data, if it was there. Sadly, we don't really have that information here. Show more. Let's have a look. Let's see. Oh, there it is. There it is. So the all-time high was on April 2021. So basically, we can see the data is suggesting that we've had. So for example, this particular thing launched around April. Okay. Let's have a look. I see El Bubble here. Awesome. Ruben. Awesome, my brother. Nice to see you. So we see this information here where it's come down from the launch. So it launched in April. Of course, it was hidden, okay, and then it comes out, and all of a sudden it pops up on our radars. But not a bad deal. Not a bad deal. I wouldn't really complain too much about it. But again, do your own research. You know, do your due diligence. Very, very important. Do your due diligence. And remember, end of the day, any one of these projects, you got to be, how would I say this? Only invest what you can afford to lose. That's the key. Only invest what you can afford to lose, because if you don't, then you've got a bit of a problem. Okay, so we can see they've been burning tokens. So these are the black holes. They've been burning a whole bunch of tokens. So I'm happy with that. I do like that kind of a stuff. We can see they have the Bancor Uniswap contracts, absolutely fine. But we see, you know, basically there are whales, but if you look at the whales, the ratio is so small. I wouldn't mind jumping into this. But am I going to? No, I've got a whole bunch of them already. Of course, a lot of you guys coming in. That's absolutely fine. No issues at all. So yeah, I mean, keep an eye on it. KTN. So there's no, what do you call this? There's no data at this present moment for where it is. Also, let me just double check market, see which market it's on. Yeah, it's on some of the shit exchanges. So yeah, I mean, by all means, I mean, I see Albin here. Awesome. So if you are going to trade it, just be cautious, because look, there's not enough volume. It is on one centralized, actually two centralized exchanges. Okay, other than that, these are decentralized protocol, decentralized protocol, decentralized protocol, right? So please be, cautious when you do invest into projects like this. Of course, we don't know how much they're going to try and bring it into other centralized places and this and that. That should be interesting to see. But I do like what I saw on the contract where they are burning, right? So we know that they've been actively burning a small percentage. I mean, we can also go back and double check what percentage it was. So 37, say 37, 50, 60, 67, just say 70-80% of the supply was actually destroyed. That's not a bad deal. When you're looking at this percentage, a very large quantity was destroyed. That's not a bad deal. Do you know what I mean? That's not a bad deal. So yeah, I mean, what the intentions are is a whole different story. Okay, so burning is one thing, but why are they burning it? Are they burning it to pump the price, or are they burning it for other reasons? We don't know. So please be cautious. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, I mean, other than the bullshit statement, yeah, it's fine. It's not an issue. Yeah, if you got any other coins, guys, drop it. Let's go into the charts and let's have a look at what the charts are telling us. So BTC on a daily, this is what I'm saying. Can we survive tonight? Because what I'm seeing is, of course, we've come out, we've had this low, and then we've dipped all the way down to the bottom around 55k, and then we've come back to rebound. But this one candle coming up doesn't confirm anything. So we know that this is moving back up again. Market has recovered, but now we need this candle to confirm this information for us. Do you know what I mean? Because we could easily see a situation where we've had a red, we've had this, but then we didn't confirm, and instead we went down even further. So it's very important for us to have this candle on a green, or blue in my case, but green. That confirms that the trend has reversed. And you can see how even here, where we had a confirmation, but then we got dumped even further. So what we need to see is a couple of candles here, green, moving us back up to say, guys, the trend has changed. So far, none of this is significant enough for us to say that the market has changed, and this bearish sentiment has changed. Okay, so please do understand. So we're going to have to observe, see what's going on for the next couple of days, and see if this whole sentiment changes. There are, on a shorter time frame, you do see on the hourly, for example, a trend has been reversed. So if you look carefully, we did break out of this, but it doesn't mean anything, because we could easily come back to this line and bounce again. So I'm going to wait patiently and see exactly what happened. See, if you look at the market cap, you can see the same thing on a shorter time frame. You can see how the market, yes, it changed the trend on a shorter time frame, but it could easily come back to bounce on this line, and that's not really good, because it means it comes down here. So we don't want to see this particular situation forming here. We want to see a continuation, and at least we want to make sure we create enough bodies in the candles to create this upward momentum to start moving back up again. So just trade cautiously. That's what I'm going to say. Don't try and long the market, short the market. Of course, if you already have a long or something like myself, I have one from like 40k. So that's a different story. I have one from 43k. I'm fine. I don't get liquidated. All right. So I'm going to stick around in those trades. But any trades you're trying to open now, whether it's a short or a long, please be cautious, because it's not the right time to do it. We don't know what the market's going to do. These dips and these little hourly pumps, they're not really helpful. They're not giving us enough data. Like, for example, for this particular situation, to invalidate and say bullish, we need to get above this line. So you see how even on a shorter time frame, we have to get above this line in order for us to confirm that we're moving back up. So the trend is still on, even though here we just broke out a little bit, but it doesn't confirm anything, and it doesn't give us the bullish sentiment until we break this neckline. So these are shorter time frames. You got to really understand, go deeper into it, zoom into it to see that actually the market is not bullish at all. Even though it looks green, everything looks healthy. Some coins are pumping 50%, 100%, XYZ. Doesn't make much of a difference. Let's see what's Belgian George. How would you invest into Bitcoin? Time the market or dollar cost averaging, or is there better ways? Time the market you can't do. Nobody has a crystal ball. So this would hopefully answer your question. You cannot time the market. What we do is something pretty unique, and only I know, like I personally know a handful of people who actually follow the same method. And I'm talking about some of the top boys as well. For example, Willy Woo, what's his name, Stock to Flow, and I'm talking big boys. These are big names. You can go to Twitter and check the big names. They all kind of follow this similar method. We have this technique of understanding what the market is doing and where the market is, right? By just using one simple indicator, which is called the Bitcoin log growth chart. And we would use this on a higher time frame, at least on a weekly, to see where the market is. By using this on an index chart, we can see the entire history of Bitcoin. And what we try to do is wait for the market. So we actually wait patiently for the market to come to this green line you can see here, or go to the red line. So the red line for us is near the top, means it's time to exit. So this is when we would usually exit. On the green line is the time for entry, maximum entry. So it's not about dollar cost averaging in. Of course, you can do that. You can dollar cost average down. That's one way of doing it. You can dollar cost average up. Absolutely fine by all means. But none of those are the safest bet, because you could keep on going down the black hole to any low price. And when you're going up, of course, you're dollar cost averaging in. But again, if the market tops out, then none of that makes any sense, because you're back to square one. You actually lost money. So the way we time it is by following these lines, this red line and this green line here. So we sell around this area here. We don't really wait too much for the white line, because that's when the parabola starts. And on the bottom, as soon as we hit that green line, or anywhere, if it goes below, I mean, that's when we say sell your house. But if it goes to the green line, it's a perfect entry. So, and the other way to be safe is what I call the median line, this blue line here, bluish line here. As long as the market is below this bluish line and you have an intention to buy and hold for 5 years, that's what we say. It's not 5 years. Normally it could be 5 months to 1 year, 2 year maximum, maybe even 3 years on the worst case scenario, but we haven't had that yet. But the situation is you intend to buy and invest for 5 years. So anywhere below this blue line is where the market structure is mostly an accumulation phase. So you can buy dollar cost average in, out, or do whatever. The time you stop is when we go above, because when we go above, that's when things get crazy. So a bull market technically starts every single time at this particular line, right? And then the bull market, I mean, we could attempt around here, but it usually ends around the red line. And history itself stands as evidence that every time we hit that red line, this is what's happened. So we know this pattern plays out over and over again. Of course, these lines are not accurate, but they do have enough data to give us a rough indication of where the market could go. So we know currently this line is changing $1,000 on the upside every week. So I'm having to change my sell order price by $1,000 every week, because it's increasing by $1,000. Also, the bottom is also increasing by $1,000. That means the bottom that we expect in the future is going to be higher than what we've ever expected. So when people turn around and say Bitcoin's going to go to 100K and then it's going to dump to 10K, the data suggests otherwise. It's not going to happen. Right? So, I mean, these are the perfect zones to dollar cost. By the way, if you are going to dollar cost, perfect zone. Anywhere inside this zone is a perfect area to dollar cost, especially obviously when the momentum is up. And that's something I do. Like, you know, when I see a dip or something, I always say to people, I said, guys, buy the red. The red is your friend. You know, red should be your favorite color because that's where you're going to make money, right? And you can see, you know, these zones every time we have these particular, even in 2019, for example, when we did this, for example, here, we had a nice little 300% pump here, right? And it doesn't matter what price you buy it, you are going to see these pumps in the future. But currently where we are, this is dangerous. You see, as soon as we crossed over this line, the market is now in what's known as, I call as an uncertainty zone. Here, we are absolutely certain that sometime in the future, or even the near future, so anywhere in this zone, we are going to go above this line. We don't need a crystal ball to say that we are going to go above this line. We might be there, you know, in the bottom here for a year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 years. We are going to go above. Okay, but once we're here, we don't know how long we're going to last there. That's the uncertain part. So we are absolutely 100% certain we are going to cross this line. So we buy here just to cross this line. Once we cross this line, we don't know how long we're going to stay above. This market could easily end here and finish, or this market could easily pump all the way up to there. The question is it like, are we certain or uncertain if it's ever going to go there? No, we are certain it is going to go there at some stage in the future, but no crystal ball to say when. And as I said, we are uncertain around this area that if this is the finish of the market or not. So I hope this kind of explains. The soundtracks are on point. Awesome. Okay, I'm not sure what soundtracks, but awesome. But I hope this kind of makes sense. So of course, even then we use secondary data, third data, fourth data. So for example, when we're sitting here, we would use trend lines. So we do have a trend line here, as you can see, right? I'll take this off just to help you out. So you can see we have trend lines to as a trend continuation. So as long as we're still trending up, we're okay. We're observing this on a higher time frame to see, okay, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks of bullish, or you can even say 7, 8 weeks of bullish momentum. Of course, we're going to expect a correction for a few weeks and then move up. So we were expecting this. And if you are to use this total calculation, well, we were on a rip for 26 weeks. Micro correction, but we were on a rip for 26 weeks. And then we had a dip. Absolutely fine, absolutely fine. You know, and the same thing's happening here where we've had these massive pumps and a dip, right? Massive pump and currently at a dip. It doesn't mean anything for us. Doesn't mean anything for us. Thank you, Jeffrey. Awesome, my brother. Jeffrey, you're supposed to be doing a soundtrack for us, my brother. I won't say anything. Could you please go over Pluton? You mean Pluton or Plutus? I'll check Pluton, no worries. So, what was the name? Belgian George, I hope this answers your question. That you can dollar cost average. You can dollar cost average in or out. It doesn't matter. Perfect times and this and that. Of course, we can't time the market. You have to be realistic. Okay. You have to be very realistic where we are. But as I said, there's a green zone and there's a red zone. You know, and once you cross that central threshold, the median line, you got to understand that you're in the red zone, you know. And right now we are actually hovering around and battling with this red zone area as demonstrated here. Without the drawings, I'll show you. Look here, we're battling on this line right now. So it's a danger zone. And even when this happened, you can go and see my videos around this particular time. I think it was here, this video here, around the February. It's not the February, sorry, my bad. I'm talking bullshit. It's not February. Yeah, it's around here. I think it was around here, around April. You will see I have a video where I tell people, guys, I'm afraid. I don't think this is healthy. Right? Because what happened is we went up too fast, too quick. This was too quick. This was too quick. This was screaming, the guys, we're in this level right now, we're gonna dump, you know. And it lasted some time until about 58k I exited, and I told the community as well, said I'm exiting. And then we had a buy order around the 30k. Of course, we didn't get it for the 28k. We would have loved to, but we did pick it up at the 30k and we shot back up again, you know. So super awesome, super awesome. But that's what you have to understand, where the market is, the market structures, and obviously the trend is your friend. And so far, this trend is still intact, absolutely intact. So I don't see a problem. I don't see this going anywhere. I can easily expect another week or two of this bearish sentiment. Absolutely fine, similar to how we did here, and then do a reverse. But there's one other fact that a lot of people are missing. What is this week? Do you even know what date it is today? Anybody have an idea? Come on, guys, come on. You should know what date it is today. It's the 20th of November. Well, look here. What happens on, and I have to go on a daily to show you this, what happens on the 26th? On the 26th of November, we have an options expiry. And history itself stands as evidence. Whenever we see a dump before a options expiry, we see a pump. Look, we see a dump, we see a pump. And when we see a pump before options expiry, we usually see a dump. Look at that. I mean, it's just not a coincidence that if you see a big pump, you end up having a dump. And if you like even here, we had a big pump, we end up seeing a dump. But when we have a dump, what happens? We start moving up. So we've got what, 6 days? 6 days until we end up having our, when we have our options expiry. Market reset. Let's go again, rinse and repeat. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. So everything looking awesome. Albin says 20th. Of course, but what I'm trying to say is not the 20th. The point is we have 6 more days. Next Friday is the options expiry date for this month. And then the following options expiry here is on the 31st of December. It's always the last Friday of the month. Remember that. Of course, there are others that we have, like the quarterly. We do have them on the 1st. So the quarterly one we have is actually on the 1st of January, and so on and so forth. So please do understand, we have quarterly, we have 6 months, we have yearly ones, we have 2.5 year ones. But the ones that we've noticed that concerns the market the most is the monthly ones. The quarterly ones, not so much, but the monthly ones, trust me, those are the ones that are lucrative, right? You're in, you do the options call, right? Call or put or whatever, you do that, and you can make a whole ton of money, right? Because you've got the option to buy up later at a cheaper price or at a higher price. And that's what you're doing, calls and puts. Go and do some research, you'll understand. So they're very lucrative, and that's, the lower the time frame is better for you as an investor. All right. Obviously, if you're super bullish, you might want to do a 2.5 year, and that's going to be extremely lucrative. I mean, if I did an option call today for 2.5 years and I said BTC is going to go to 200k, and I left it, well, I think the higher probabilities we are definitely going to be around the 200k around that time. That's not a bad call, and you end up making a whole shit ton of money. It's not a bad deal. So that's what that is. Let's have a look at the chat. Belgian says, Jeffrey says, yes, I am. So he's making the background music for us. Awesome. Belgians, George says, yes, I did. Helps a lot. Awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Hi, bro. Apparently Thanksgiving week is always good. Haven't checked the data myself. It's just a coincidence. It's just a coincidence. If you look at the cycles, it's very simple. Let me get the drawing off. If you look at any cycle in any season, what you'll notice is, where is it? Right? Any cycle, like, so this is the bottom of the cycle. Of course, you're not going to see it there. So this is November, December, right? It was bearish because we were at the end of the bull market. So the bull market ended, you can see June, right? This is the first one anyway. We don't count the first one. We usually count the second one, the 2013 one. And look, you can see this month, on 2013, very bullish, and then of course it dumped in December, right? And then we can fast forward and go to other situations, like for example November, look, bullish candle. December, bullish candle. Of course this was in a bull market, so it's a different story, right? And you can fast forward and do the same thing over and over again. You can see this. So it's got nothing to do with Thanksgiving or anything. It's just a coincidence, because look, this is a November, this is a December. It wasn't. So in a bear market, it doesn't make any difference. So there's no point us using that, connecting the dots and saying, yes, it happens. No, it's just a coincidence that every proper bull cycle, we end up having a November, a December, a January, XYZ, right? It's just a coincidence, absolute coincidence, nothing else. Look at it. You can see that if you go back to the monthly datas, you will see which month is positive, which month is not. And you can see in a bear market, it's more negative, right? And in a bull market, of course, it's positive, you know. But let's not be subjective. Sorry, let's not be objective about it. You know what I mean? Just pick one side and say, yep, that's what happens. KR is not here right now, so it's kind of rude to talk behind his back. But KR showed me a video about someone yesterday, and this person showed 7 patterns, 7 scenarios. And my reply to him was, bro, what the fuck are you showing me? Because we've only had 1, 2, 3 completed bull markets. So where did this person get 7 from? Even if he did, you know, say, okay, we're going to use these microcycles, fine. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If he wants to include this 6, where is he getting 7 scenarios? So I called him out. I said, this is a bullshit. This is bullshit. He's giving you 7 scenarios. He doesn't show you where he's getting it from. And then at the end of it, he says, come and join my group, paid group, and I'll tell you which one it is. Honestly. And this is the type of scam a lot of people are doing. So I kind of took the piss. I kind of talked about a few bits and bobs. But the point is some people just like to connect the dots where they shouldn't be. And other people who follow that information do not really do a fact check on themselves. So my advice is, guys, whatever you hear, even if it's from me or anything like that, please do your own research, do your own fact check. Okay? I mean, just type in Google, how many bull runs have we had? And they will tell you we've had 3. And even then, as I said, this one, most TA guys or even data scientists, data guys would not accept this, because this was the initial launch of the exchanges, the initial people just trading and buying and this and that. So we don't really accept this as a proper bull market. All right, the 2013 and the 2017 are technically the bull markets, and the one we're in now is a bull market. So you should understand how this works. Okay, basic, just logic, nothing else, just logic. So enough talking about Bitcoin. Enough talking about Bitcoin. Let's move out to some other stuff. Let's go into Ethereum and see what Ethereum is doing today. Let's go into a daily and see what Ethereum is doing. So yeah, same story. Ethereum. Same story. You might see this little formation here. That's because I've been tracking it on the hourly as well. And as I said, the same story. It has to break above this neckline in order for it to change the pattern. So we're going to observe this, see what happens. So far, this coming down doesn't make any difference as long as it doesn't create a low. So of course, if it comes down a little bit and then bounces back up and moves back up, that will be positive for us. So we've got to pray today the candle doesn't close lower, because the daily candles are very important. A lot of people don't understand this, that all of these candles are more relevant than anything else. Of course, if you're trading, then you're trading on an hourly or a 4 hourly, so the daily is not that relevant for you. But when you're looking at daily, these candle closes are what's printing the data for us. So I hope this kind of makes sense. BNB, okay, BNB change pattern, that's fine. We can adjust this. It's still confirming because you still got a touch point here, touch point here, touch point here, which is fine. This could be the trend, absolutely fine. Again, I looked at it on the hourly, and what do we see? We see that it broke trend. Currently, it's actually sitting in a consolidation zone. Wow. So it's created a consolidation zone. So let's see where that moves. Again, very similar to what BNB did, but actually better than BNB, because if you look carefully, it's actually come to this was the neckline. So it did kind of test the neckline. It broke above the neckline. However, it couldn't hold support. You see, it broke down. So this was a lovely area for it to change the trend, and it did technically, but of course it collapsed. It's fine. Let's see where it goes. I know a lot of bears about DOT, but listen, again, on an hourly, I'm tracking DOT, and this is the pattern I see. I see a falling wedge. I actually see a falling wedge. Of course, I could draw it like a wedge if you want, but I see a wedge. And usually when we see this kind of a pattern, you know, on any time frame, this is showing us the next move is only up. The next move is only up. So of course we're going to bounce up and down a little bit, but next move is only up, and this is the neckline we need to break to reverse the trend. So we're going to wait for that, see what that does. Same again, Solana. As you can see, I'm looking at shorter time frames, guys, shorter time frames, because on the daily, as I said, it is important. And all we're doing is these bounces, and we today for the entire market, we got to pray this entire market doesn't close below this one blue, in my case green, in your case green candle. We don't close below, right? I mean, here is really good. You can see they've created a lower high, which is okay, you know, which is okay. But remember, they are in a falling wedge, which is very bullish pattern anyway. So let's see where that goes. So far, everybody's doing awesome. Yeah, I mean, here as well, if you look carefully, it's a higher low, not high as high, but it's still, you know, it's a higher low, lower. Yeah, I mean, higher low, that's all I can say. But it's still, it's a trend reversal. It's not there 100%, but I think it's attempting it. It's attempting it. Do you know what I mean? And again, this is a descending triangle, or a falling wedge. Both you can call it, right? Because it is a wedge as well. If you look carefully from this data here, right? This is a wedge, right? That could potentially break out. So let's see what that does. Also, let me refresh the chat. I have no idea what's going on. Guys, if you're new to the channel, please do consider subscribing. Smash those like buttons, hit the subscribe, press the bell button, press all, and join our Discord community as well. We're doing great stuff. We're also going to be, you've probably seen Paradexes, we're also launching our own project. It's going to be a community project very soon, and those announcements will be mostly made on here. I think we're going to do some promotional videos on Paradexes' own channel, but other than that, most of the marketing, promotion, or whatever, or you know, when we do Q&As or whatever, I'll do it down here. You know, I'll keep it simplified rather than you guys having to go to 50 different channels. No, that's wrong. So yeah, we are going to keep it that way. eGold. Now, all those eGold fans here, guys, I do have a little bit of a warning for you. I do have a little bit of a warning for you, and I hope you do understand what you're about to see, and I hope this makes sense. So please, 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 all the eGold fans, keep an eye on this. This is rising. It's rising. It's actually coming into that point where it's going to have a major pullback, because what we see here is this point here. It is a wedge. It's forming a wedge. Ascending wedges always break down, so please be cautious. That's all I'm going to say. Of course, if you're holding for another year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, if you're participating in the stakes and locks and whatever, that's a different story. But please do understand, we are forming a rising wedge here, and this rising wedge could easily come down. So whenever we do have a situation like this, we can expect a major correction, a major pullback. So please do understand this. Okay. However, look, if the market continues, the momentum continues, I don't see any reason why this can't pump all the way to $400, $500, and then possibly even $1,000 by the top of the market. And then when the market ends, possibly we might see a big dump. So just play cautiously. That's what I'm saying. Other than that, guys, listen, everything else is doing awesome. I'm not really going to fuss too much about Gala, this, that, whatever. Because, look, every target we set is the target we met. Go back to any video in the past. We made this video about Gala, and you can see Gala held support, broke trend, held support exactly on one target, and then Gala came back to the new target. It's doing its thing exactly as we mentioned. Every single line has been touched, hit, targets done, and now that we're here, we can do a new target. And again, you might say, well, this guy's insane for what he says or what he does. Yeah, maybe I am, but the market respects the Fibonacci's, you know. So you've got 4 lines here now, and you can see it's going to respect the Fibonacci's. So we have one area here. This is the correction point. So we know that if it does correct, we're going to see a 25 cents. And if it does pump, we're going to see a 52 cents. Gala could be the new Axie Infinity, as I mentioned before. Gala could be the new Axie. So if anyone's buying and hodling, do it. I'm not bothered. I'm just basically pumping and dumping and making as much money as I can. Each to their own, each to their own, guys. Listen, I'm not a financial advisor. I just tell you what I would do, what I do myself, and that's about it. BitDAO, perfect bounce on the support, moving back up. I'm happy with it, not complaining and buying some more. Obviously, they're also pumping fresh coins as well onto the market. There's one coin, I think it's called D-Travel, and this and that I did mention on Discord. So they are pumping those coins out, and I do want to participate. So that's going to be really, really awesome. I don't need to say much about AVAX, do I? Because we did say AVAX is going to come to this target, $122. And I'm not going to make this up, guys. I mean, you know this. I don't make stuff up here. I just give you the facts, nothing more. This is on our video. And this is officially telling us the high was $122 on the dot. And our projection was $122.69. I'm sorry. I was wrong by 69 cents. But now that we have that, we can take some of these details off. And we were talking about these targets from way back, way back. It's hilarious, hilarious. I want to also take this off as well. I'm just going to leave one line there. I'm going to leave the pattern. It's kind of intact. I'm going to leave it there. And I'm going to do a new one. Again, all I'm doing is just using this current data to the current low, nothing more, just to put a little target and say, what's the potential for AVAX now that it has done this? How far can it go? And what would be the low? So we know how high and we know how low. So now we have 2 points to kind of monitor. So we know a perfect entry for us, again, if we want to buy a dip, would be $94 or around that level, especially within this particular zone here, because this is the golden pocket zone. So if we can buy within this golden pocket zone, which is around $105 to $94, that's our golden pocket. Okay, that's a golden pocket entry zone. Our exit zone is around this particular level, where you can see it's between 150 and 164. If we did want to just basically make the most of a pump and a dump, that would be our exit point. So this is our new target now, which is approximately $163. And I am going to save this because that's what I'm going to show you from now on. Another target met. Mbox. The targets here, we haven't gone there yet, but we are working towards that target. When you look at smaller time frames, shorter time frames, you can see we have this upward momentum structure building. We have this structure building. Of course, get rid of all of this because these are old data, but you can see we have this lovely structure building. And then we can use the Fibonacci's to confirm whether our structure is correct or not. And you can see the Fibonacci is slightly higher than our target, but it also confirms that, guys, that's where we want to go. That's where we want to go. So Mbox is on its way. Let's have a look at some of the other coins. There was another coin someone mentioned here. I will do that coin and then I'm going to shoot. I've got a few bits and bobs I need to do. PLM. Doing all right. Nice little recovery. Nice little structure. On a shorter time frame, you can see how this structure is building, moving up, upward momentum. Absolutely fine. Nice little lovely recovery. It confirmed all these reversal trends. So, for example, all these necklines were broken and it's moving up step by step, taking baby steps. Happy days. Happy days. Now I like this. So I see Woo coming back to thing, and I'm telling you, I'm very bullish on Woo. So I see Woo coming back down here. Actually, this is not a good trend. This is a better trend because I'm looking at this area and I'm seeing this. This is a better trend. So on this trend, I'm seeing myself a nice little buy zone. Nice little buy zone because I know what I'm going to be making on the breakout. So if I put this here, if I put this here, and if I do this, then the difference I should be looking at, the percentage would be, sorry, give me a second, let me grab this, there you go. So if we did break out anywhere around this level, that's a lovely little percentage. So yeah, I'm going to be buying me some more. Boom. So that should be a nice little It says 18% here, but if I bought it here today, that's a 23%. So it's one of those quick ones, right? You know, you just go in, you snipe it, you make the money, you get the hell out. Of course, I have my bags. That's a different story. I am staking this damn thing. Dreams is coming back. So Dreams is definitely coming back from what I can see here so far. So of course we had all of these crazy DARMs and everything, and so far Dream has now finally, right, and if you look at this on a daily level, you can see this much easier. It started to trend up, right? So we finally started to trend up, and this is not too steep. That means it's a healthy move up. So we don't want to go parabolic, because as soon as we go parabolic, we dump hard, right? So like, you know, the way we did on the day of the launch, that's why we suffered so much. But now we're starting to move up, and this is really, really good. And usually if we do see a pattern like this, right, where we dump from here all the way up to here, because this is pretty much where we were, then the target we have is pretty cool. I'll show you. So the target would be from here to here. So if we did break out, we're expecting this damn thing, right, from this area here. So for example, where we broke out from here, we're expecting it to come back to $1.38. It's not a bad deal. $1.38. Of course, after that we can pump higher, and I do have some high hopes for it. I do have some high targets all the way up to $6 if we continued the momentum and move up. And it's going to come back, guys. They all come back. Crow, nothing to say, you know, it hit my target. It's doing the thing. I do have multiple target zones for it. Obviously I have a target here at the 85 cents, and I have a second target at the $2. So of course we're going to get there at some stage. Let's see what happens. But other than that, guys, it's been awesome. Market's doing fantastic. I know the market looks a little bit bloody here and there, but that's one of the reasons why the title today clearly said, guys, clearly said, can we hold the candle? Can we close on a green today, or at least above that previous red candle we had yesterday? So that's what we need to look out for. Trade carefully. Don't leverage trade. Don't high leverage trade, especially, please. And these are opportunities. When you see the red in the market, these are opportunities to buy the discount, obviously, because we already know that we are still on an upward trend line. As soon as the trend is cancelled, it's game over. Okay, that means we're going to be in a bear cycle or bearish situation for weeks, months, maybe even. Also, I did mention something to Costana earlier on. I know he's not here, so if he's watched it to the end, he was mentioning something, and I said, guys, from all the data that we've got, we do know the market right now is showing us that it could potentially end around March. And you might ask, how does this guy know this? Why does he say March? And it's pretty simple. Again, we use the same metric here, same thing here. We use it on a higher time frame, and we just look at this price, right? And we take this data here. So I'll show you what I mean. It's pretty cool. I think this is the one. Yeah. So we just take this data here, and we just I'm using the different one, sorry guys. We just take this particular data here. No, oh my bad, sorry guys, sorry. So I'm trying to find the right one. Where is it? Is it this one? It must be this one. I'm just going by the icon. That's what the problem is. Yes. So if I use this and just put it around here, you can see it's closer to that area. So this particular close one here is about February to March. Can you see this, right? So we can see that the cycle trend top looks closer to the March, like the end of March. And coincidentally, there is a video on this channel where I did a whole bunch of mathematics and this and that. Even then, I actually mentioned that, and there's a video on this where March could be the end. So please do understand, go back and watch the video if you haven't already. It's there somewhere. I've got like hundreds of videos, guys. I don't know which one is what. But when we did the maths, we did this crazy maths. We did plot the dates and said, I think it was the 22nd of March or something like this, which could be the end. And we did do that long time ago. Other than that, guys, I'm not going to make this video any longer. I do have to go. I do have a few calls and XYZ to go and answer. And yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed what they saw. Like, share, subscribe, share with your friends and family. Let's grow this community. And also, you've not probably noticed I have activated how many subscribers we have on the bottom of the channel. You will see this. Also, for the members, I am going to change some of those icons, and I hope you don't mind. I will change the icons to Paradexes now. So when you do come onto the chat, of course you have this black Bitcoin which doesn't really show up that well. I'm going to put something colorful there, and I think I'm going to put the Paradox logo there. Of course everybody knows Bitcoin, which is fine, but I think it would be nice for like Jeffrey, SM, and a few others who are have been members for a very long time. I think I'm just going to unify everybody and give you the Paradox logo, because I do know you guys are super awesome with the Paradox and everything. And you know, as a member, of course you're in Bitcoin, everyone's in Bitcoin, but I think as a member of community of sdcrypto and some of the early investors of Paradexes, right, which hasn't launched, by the way. When I'm saying early investor, they haven't invested. They will be when the auction opens for, or not the auction, the black hole event opens for everybody. So nobody's invested before. The coin doesn't exist, guys. Paradexes does not exist. Remember this, okay? Right, just to prove it, guys, it doesn't exist. Please do understand. So nobody has invested anyway. Look, Paradexes does not exist. Please do understand. When it does, you will all know. Of course, I'm going to post it publicly. I'll leave the contract address and everything. But right now, Paradexes does not exist. These are just people who have already pledged that they will be joining the black hole event, or whatever we call it. So that's all it is, guys. Nothing else. Okay. So I know it sounds wrong, right? It's like, okay, pre-invested. No. They haven't. They just pledged, nothing more. Pledged. Custard Boot, thank you very much, my brother. See you too. Thank you very much, everybody, and I'll see you soon on another video tomorrow. Adios, my amigos.